based on, and I'll say it, by the way, because I don't think anyone's ever done this before. 2 consecutive days of watching YouTube videos about monetary policy. I don't think anyone's ever obtained this level of knowledge. I have yet to see a convincing, like, from the ground up level explanation for why loaning as a concept has to be a thing, or I should say, like, the creation of what would you call it, like fake illusory money, when a bank loans it out. You know, the idea, because they're given the license to loan it out without actually losing anything themselves. I haven't yet seen a good argument for that. I think it's a force multiplier in economic activity. Yeah, I think that's like bullshit. That's the presupposition I'm talking about. That's the presupposition, right? The idea of, like, well, if people can get access to money that they don't have, then they can do more economic stuff with it. Okay, well, all I'm saying is if they want the money to be loaned to them, that money should be loaned from people who actually have the money and are losing it. You know? Like, the bank can't create the money. The bank has to give you money that it then loses. The bank has a finite amount of money. Borrow to create thing that creates value, then give the money back. Pretty simple, really. Yeah, but you're buying into the pretext there, is what I mean. So the bank creates fake money that then gets handed over to the company, and the company uses that to do a thing that makes them money. But, like, what's actually being produced? What's it all coming? Where's it actually coming from? Right? Well, it's kind of like a magic trick, right? I mean, the numbers all go up, but the numbers don't have very much to do with what's actually being produced. Like, the GDP isn't really like a direct reflection of the productive activity of a country at all. Because if I loan you $10, I now have a contract with you that's worth 10 plus interest. No. You don't understand. What I'm talking about is the bank can give you the money without losing the money. Like, if I was a bank, I could loan you $10 without actually losing $10. I could create a $10 bill magically to give to you. That's what I'm talking about. How? Well, that's what banks do. What? That's what banks can loan. Fractional reserve banking. There we go. That's not what banks do. Those are mints. Yeah, they don't print the money. The money doesn't physically exist. Don't be contrarian. No, you can't create a $10 bill, just a number in their spreadsheets. Well, you can spend it all the same, can't you? I said $10 bill to be, I'm being rhetorical a little, but why is it bad for them to create money? Because it seems like what you end up getting, and it seems like this is the position that we're in right now, you end up getting into this weird position where you have, like, an obscene amount of national debt, and a lot of debt held by private interests, mind you, and all of it is being created because it is good monetary policy to incentivize borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and leveraging and leveraging and leveraging, because as long as you can keep creating more money through the fractional reserve banking or whatever, you can keep leveraging it against new loans, and you create this, like, nonstop runaway train of something which is not really correlated to any actual productive capacity. Like, you're not producing widgets or food or providing medical equipment or whatever, but also that is velocity. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. This is not high velocity money. This is the opposite. This is the money that gets borrowed and sits and gets leveraged. It does not move around in the general public. It's the opposite. That's the point. So you have an economy where, like, 80% of the money that exists on the books is just held in dragon vaults, where it's used to describe the wealth of institutions, to leverage debt, and you increase your debt because the more debt you hold, the more you've borrowed. That means that you can use that as, like, an indicator of your reliability, which allows you to leverage more. And you get in this situation where it's like, yeah, America's GDP is high, but how much of that is actually flowing around at the bottom? And the answer is not that much, right? Like, there's the velocity of money on average is decreased. It's a fake economy up here. It's crazy. The reason this is bad is where the Penn Central bankruptcy, there's your problem talked about. It bankrupted several banks at the same time. I mean, it can cause catastrophic economic collapses, for one, but I think that even without the collapses, the good case of this just working as intended is still also very bad, because it means a lot of money essentially gets like removed from the economy because it's just sitting up there at the top. And also you have this precarious situation where the most economically stable system is one in which every government and every corporation holds enormous amounts of debt. Like, isn't it weird that it's normal for companies that make billions to not be able to pay the wages of their workers if their flow ever got cut off for like weeks? Like, isn't that a weird system? Everyone's balancing their debt and interest payments and like borrowing more because they can invest it for like a fraction of a percentage point more return than they're losing off the interest. So you have infinite money. You've got a squadrillion dollars flowing around, but all of it is flowing around in the form of debt held and interest payments and like marginally profitable investments off of the money borrowed that you then have to pay the debt off for forever. And the end consequence of this is that everyone is in debt to everyone else for money that never served any functional purpose or was used to buy any goods or products. You know what I mean? Like, at the end state of this system is one in which you have infinite artificially created debt through the fractional reserve something, the loans where they create, you know, more money out of money, and no one has any money on hand. Or they do, but it's all being leveraged or it's all borrowed. You know what I mean? I think we should go back to rock. The reason our financial institutions are okay with having such a risky system is because it keeps unemployment very low. Yeah, but maybe unemployment should be higher. Like, maybe in the modern, extremely efficient world, we don't need constant employment. Maybe you don't need 40 hours a week from everyone. If unemployment is too high, just lower the standard work week. Like what you're describing is like a great evil, right? You're saying like, no, everyone working all the time is like the given that we should optimize for. So we should alter the rules of like mathematics and the economy to ensure that it's incentivized that everyone be working all the time, even though in a modern, highly efficient economy, the service and goods needs of the population could be met with significantly less labor. It seems like, yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of bad, a little inefficient. Anyway, as I said, I've done exactly 2 days of reading and watching on this. So I basically know more than anyone, but I'll try to shore up my already considerable knowledge on the subject by looking into it a little more. It just seems like a very precarious system. We're always teetering on the brink of collapse, and why? Like, in a raw productive sense, this country is efficient enough. Like, I'm not even talking about how much money we have. I'm saying that in terms of our educational facilities and our factories and everything that it takes to make people get the goods and services they need, our country could easily provide for itself with the productive efficiency that we have, you know? So why is it always teetering on the brink of collapse? I mean, why does everyone have to borrow out to the absolute fucking limit? Every company, all these governments sell more treasury bonds to have other people buy up more debt so you can pay down the interest on the already accrued debt. I mean, we already took a look at the interest payments in this country, but it's like, damn, it just seems like it's a system that mandates debt servitude from everyone to everyone else for no reason. And now we're doing it in the households. We've brought this system to everyone's day-to-day lives. And now it's not just governments and businesses. Now individual people are like, oh yeah, well, here's your mortgage and here's your car payment and here's your student loan. And actually, like, you should spend your entire working life paying off marginal fractions of the debt that you accrued as part of the necessary buy-in to society. Like we want you to go to college. We want you to buy a house. We want you to buy a car. They're like expected, basically, or at least they used to be. But you need to basically spend your whole life indentured to get them, because the system relies on everyone just juggling this like crisis of debt management. And nothing about any of this is essential or like required, even under capitalism, by the way. Like, the private ownership of the means of production, like, this doesn't necessarily follow one from the other. It's just the modern like monetary policy, not MMT, you know, but like modern, like in a historical sense, like post Renaissance, that kind of aggregated into this state. At least that's the impression that I've gotten from 2 days of reading about it. Vaush, you're so close to getting it, but refuse to do the final step of understanding. Why the snark? Money is literally debt. It has no other value other than the debt it represents. Well, not necessarily. It's meant to facilitate like transactions at a granular like level of value. But having currency doesn't necessarily mean you're indebted to the Fed. Yeah, it's about, I mean, I guess you could argue that's debt like in a broad abstract kind of way, but yeah, it's more about like the exchange value of the currency. You know? Also, it's not like I'm a big money guy or whatever. I'm not here to defend the status quo. I'm just saying that like it feels like we're fucked in a way we can't really fix. Because it's not just about no, the currency is the government owing debt to you. Okay, I understand that you having currency means the government is indebted to you because you're holding on to a treasury note, essentially, that is backed by their confidence. I understand that, but it never gets paid back. It just gets exchanged between, like, people and businesses and stuff. So, in practice, it's about its exchange value. I understand in the abstract, it's like debt, but I think taxes is paying it back. Yeah, but not all your taxes get, like, not all your money gets paid back in taxes, at least not until I'm in charge. So, yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. It's complicated. I'm just saying it seems like the problem that we're facing right now is a lot more severe than just, well, the government's spending too much in the military, because the government spends more on interest in its own debt than it does the military. Like the military spending, honestly, is like, it's borderline like a drop in the bucket. Our current deficit is more than double the amount we spend on the military. So like we could literally spend $0 on the military and we wouldn't have even cut in half the deficit. Like the amount, the discrepancy here, the extent to which the economy seems to be like designed to facilitate debt juggling, and it's like the whole global economy. It's everyone and everywhere.